While we know Manchester United's priority in the summer transfer window was a striker, we also know they're looking at another wing-back with Kenda probably likely to be the next Manchester United signing if the reports are true. We also know they're looking at a 10, another centre-back because of Lissandro Martinez's injury, but they're also looking at a DM. Bruno's been playing deeper because Amorim thinks he's the best person in that role to progress the ball. Obviously, Maino is out injured. We know Casemiro and Eriksen are not rated by Amorim. Eriksen is on the way out. Casemiro they'd like to sell. So, of course, Manchester United will be looking at the DMs. And have they found their perfect Casemiro replacement in Hayden Hackney? I think he's the most likely DM to come to Manchester United out of all the players we're linked to. I'm going to get into the transfer news on him and our DM targets. Ethan Williams signs a new deal, and we'll also do a little bit of loan watch on Ethan Wheatley, signs a new deal, and we'll also do a little bit of a loan watch on Ethan Williams, who's doing well. Aaron comments on this season and sort of the criticism around this season and stuff. You know, there's been a bit of pressure on Aaron. There's a few people that are Aaron out and stuff, and he sort of speaks and comments about this. Toby Collyer is back, which is a big boost because Ugarte's out, and I think Toby Collyer is the only one that can sort of do what Ugarte does. And then we're going to talk about Manchester United, Real Sociedad squad news, but more so my sort of starting 11 versus Real Sociedad and my predicted starting 11 for Manchester United versus Real Sociedad. So let's dive into all the Manchester United news and stories, and then we'll get into the preview ahead of the Real Sociedad game. So in terms of transfer news, Manchester United have scouted Hayden Hackney at Middlesbrough this season. This was said by the Mail. I also got information about Hayden Hackney months ago. The Muppeteers have also had information about Hayden Hackney. We've been linked to Hayden Hackney a lot. Definitely one to watch. Definitely a player Manchester United like. He's 22. He's playing in the Championship, and there is the big question of, do Manchester United need more ready-made players right now because we're quite far behind? But I'm very much of the sense of Cunha's a ready-made player for the 10. Gyökeres or Ostenham's a ready-made player for the striker. I think for other positions, it's more about profiling. You know, we need a few ready-made players to come in and instantly lift the level, particularly in attack. But I do think defensively in midfield, it's more about the profiles that we're lacking. You know, so I think Hayden Hackney could be quite a good addition for Manchester United. And I tweeted this 3 days ago before this link that Ederson, Morton, Subameni and Hackney have all been linked to United over the last month. What player would you say is the best fit in the double pivot role under Ruben Amorim? Clearly needs someone who's able to progress the ball, but also has the legs to play at high intensity. Now, I look at Stiller, and I think that Stiller's ideal. I think he's Bayern Munich bound. I look at Adam Morton, I think he's good, but it's still a bit raw. Probably wants another season at Crystal Palace with the injuries he's had and will cost a fortune. I look at Ederson of Atalanta and say off the ball ticks every box. On the ball, though, is he as progressive as the other players? Probably not. Subameni looks Arsenal bound, would be a difficult deal to do. Again, he would tick a lot of those boxes, which is really annoying. Is obviously the player that Manchester City just signed, of course, is the perfect box ticker for Man United. There's no doubt if Man City didn't sign him, Nico Gonzalez would be on that list as well. I think he's a very, very good player. And then, of course, Hayden Hackney at Middlesbrough. I guess the Michael Carrick links could potentially help us out as well. So these are obviously the sort of player that United are looking at. We need someone that's able to progress the ball. A guy that can do what you want off the ball, but we're going to need someone that can progress the ball, but also has the ability to play at the intensity Ruben Amorim wants. And Hayden Hackney's proven he's a very good ball progressor. In terms of progressive passes in the Championship, no one has made more progressive passes than Hayden Hackney, which is definitely a box that Manchester United need ticking. So if we sort of talk about Hayden Hackney, there are a few Middlesbrough fans out there that don't rate him. I've seen online, which I think is weird. Like, I've only watched 3 or 4 Hayden Hackney games this season. You know, the Chelsea game, the Sunderland game, bits and bobs of that. So I don't watch him week in, week out, but when I've watched him, I felt that he's very much ready to make that step up. This was his game against Sunderland. Obviously, 1 goal, 1 assist, 5 tackles, was fantastic. This was an exciting game because you got the Enzo Lafis, the Chris Riggs, the Jobs, the Hayden Hackneys. I think Sunderland and Middlesbrough have some of the most exciting young talent in football. Obviously, Morgan Rogers came from Middlesbrough, and look at him now at Aston Villa. I think, you know, people are sceptical of signing players from the Championship, but look at Morgan Rogers. He'd probably walk into our 11. I think Hayden Hackney could be another one. I think Hayden Hackney is one of the only players in the Championship that I'd probably sign because I think he's most ready to make the step up from what I've seen. I like Chris Rigg. I think Chris Rigg could be a Bellingham level talent, but I think Chris Rigg needs another year or 2 of development. I think Manchester United is too early for him. But even in the Chelsea game last year, you know, he showed 42 touches, 7 dribbles, 2 out of 2 tackles, 1 key pass, 1 goal, getting the winner. He showed that he was capable of playing against Chelsea, which, you know, haven't been at the best level, particularly in 2024 January, but was very impressive. So it definitely could be one to watch in terms of Hayden Hackney, and I think he could be Man United's Casemiro replacement. Like, I do have a feeling we might sign Hayden Hackney, because I think Wharton, Subamende, and Stiller and Edison are less realistic. Now, to buy, we need to sell. And talking of selling, I think Anthony wants to go. Manchester United's Anthony has expressed a desire to stay at Real Betis when his loan spell ends in the summer. We've got agents Anthony coming out slamming Amorim's comments about Anthony's physicality not suiting the Premier League. As I said in my video yesterday, we watched Anthony play, nearly every Premier League game. He got dropped for Ahmad, who got very few minutes under Ten Hag, and Ahmad was a lot better, even though Anthony was signed for Ten Hag and Ten Hag's system, and Ahmad wasn't. Ahmad was better. Anthony is doing very well in the Liga, but it's an easier league. He's at a lower pressure club, and the physicality is less demanding in terms of the sprints and the distance covered. Anthony, of course, if Man United was a better environment, if we were a better club, he'd have done a lot better at Man United than he did. But I don't think he's a Premier League player. I think he's made for the Liga, and I think hopefully we can get 25 million, sell Anthony, get him out, bish bash bosh. In terms of Manchester United youngsters, Ethan Wheatley has extended his contract at United with +1 option. Promising young striker. Obviously, one of the highest rated sort of young players at Manchester United, although he's been struggling on loan. I don't know if he's injured. He hasn't really got many minutes or a goal or an assist yet for Walsall in League 2. But a lot of our academy players just don't do well on loan. We very rarely find the right loans. We got Ahmad at Sunderland, which was brilliant. But I do like Ethan Wheatley, and I hope that he can get a good loan next season. But we have found one good loan, and that is Ethan Williams. It's so confusing. Ethan Ennis, Ethan Wheatley, Ethan Williams. There were so many Ethans in the academy. Now, he's played 9 games in League 2 with 2 goals and 2 assists. But actually, when you think about that, that's 4 goal contributions in 500 minutes, which is nearly a goal contribution a game. But actually, when you look at him, not making people, skilling people, how he's spoken about as well at Cheltenham, it's really, really exciting what he's been doing. So I think a League One loan would be good for him next season. And I think he's one of those players where who's definitely got a future. They speak about him over at Cheltenham as if they think he could break into the Man United side. And considering how we're attacking, you never know. But League 2 in the Premier League, there is a big difference there. But he's such a young kid and he's doing well, left winger, exciting player. So congrats to Ethan Williams. So let's talk about the Europa League and let's talk about Amorim's comments. Ruben Amorim said there's always pressure to win, not just to win, but to perform. There's a lot of pressure on us at the moment. People see this competition as the only competition to save our season, but I don't see it like that. Nothing can save our season because we have to perform in every competition at this club. I don't understand that it is important and we want to win and go through to the next round. So Ruben Amorim is saying winning the Europa League doesn't save our season. Whereas under Ten Hag, we'd have a crap season, but winning a trophy saved our season. For me, winning the Europa League saves our season because it's like we'll get into the Champions League next season. We've won a trophy at the end of this crap season. If you get knocked out in this early round of the Europa League, we've got nothing to look forward to at the end of the season. So let's say you even get to the Europa League final and you don't win the final. At least we've had something this season to look forward to because we're not looking forward to the Premier League games. So for me, Ruben Amorim is right in the sense of this season is bad. Winning a trophy won't change that. It won't paper over the cracks. Whereas with Ten Hag, it's sort of papered over the cracks. He wants to improve us in all the competitions. But I do think winning Europa League saves our season because it would get us in the Champions League next season, which would put us in a better position in terms of the transfer window, the money we have to spend, the players that we can attract. And it's a trophy. I want a trophy. So I know what he means, Amorim, because we're not good enough at the moment, but I do think it saves our season. Toby Collier's return. Ruben Amorim said he's important for us. One more option in midfield. He's far, brave, and so happy for him. And honestly, Toby Collier's rapid. That's only one thing I recently noticed. And this is the squad for the game versus Real Sociedad. Chido was not registered in time. The only youngster called up is Harry Amas, which is a bit disappointing. I'd have liked to have seen a Scanlon or a Morehouse or a Jack Fletcher be called up, but Ruben Amorim was sort of saying he's not looking to please everybody yet by calling up the youngsters. But I just think the youngsters deserve more of a chance because the first team has been so bad. So let's talk about Manchester United versus Sociedad and what the likely starting 11 will be. So Onana will be in goal, and there's no doubt in my mind because he can't play in the Premier League games, and he's got a 3-match ban. Dorgu will be the left wing back. He needs that. He needs the games in his legs, and then we can rest. I think it will still be the low right wing back. I think Mazraoui's a player that because he's had a few more injury issues lately, not like big injury issues, I think Mazraoui will be rested. I think we will see De Ligt at right centre-back. No. I think we'll see De Ligt at right centre-back. I think we will see Lindelof, sadly, at central centre-back. But I think Real Sociedad is a game Lindelof should be fine in. And I think we'll see Euro at left centre-back because Maguire is out. I think that will be the back line. Would I rather see De Ligt central centre-back, Euro right centre-back, and Heaven left centre-back? Absolutely. But this is what I think we'll see. It will be Bruno. I don't know if Collyer is ready to start. This is the big question because I think if Collyer is ready to start, I think Collyer starts because he prefers Collyer to Casemiro. So I'm going to go with Bruno and Collyer, but I don't know how ready he is to start. But I think he would want to start Collyer over Casemiro if I was going to be completely honest. Obviously, it's going to be Højlund up top. It's going to be Xerxes as the right 10, and I believe it will be Garnacho as the left 10 because, well, we don't really have any other options. It's not like Mason Mount's about. It's not like if it was Ugarte and Collyer, maybe Bruno plays at 10. Maybe Eriksson plays there, but I think Garnacho for this kind of game, he scored against Russell in the past. So I think that will be our starting 11. But if I had it my way, I'd probably play De Ligt central centre-back. I'd probably play Euro right centre-back. And I honestly, and maybe I'm crazy, I'd play Ayden Heaven left centre-back. I'd rather see Ayden Heaven than Lindelof on the pitch. I thought the way he was on the ball was good. And I would probably give the lower rest and I'd play Mazraoui. That would be my starting 11 though. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.